there, everybody. This is Nurse Mo, and I am beyond excited about what I have for you today. This is a bonus episode celebrating 1 million downloads of this podcast. So, as you can imagine, I was over the moon about that, and I just wanted to show you how much I appreciate you. And what I did was I asked for people to call in to a special voicemail box that I set up and leave their best advice, their best words of encouragement for nursing students and new nurses, because you guys have shown me so much love by subscribing to the podcast and sending me your reviews and telling me how much it's helped you, that I wanted to give some love back, but I wanted to do that with a bunch of other people to really expand and multiply that message. So before we get started, I just want to say thank you so very much. This podcast is a labor of love, and I love hearing from you guys. I love doing these for you. And when you write and tell me how much it's helped you, I cannot even tell you. That completely, absolutely makes my day. Sometimes my whole week. I read every single message. A lot of the time, I make my husband listen to them. I make my friends read them. They just thrill me more than you guys know. So thank you again so very much. So this first one that we're going to hear from Michelle. And Michelle wants you to be successful in clinicals and on the job. And she has a little bit of advice for how you can do that.
My name is Michelle, and I've been a nurse for 2 years. And my biggest advice would be to find people that you click with. There's a nursing unit that you're a student on that you work well with the people. Then that's how I started out, because it made me open up to where I wasn't afraid to ask questions and get help where I needed help. One of my biggest advice would be like for things that are time sensitive as far as being organized and staying charted. If there's something that is a certain time, to write it down, even if you don't have to chart it like right away. I find a lot of times now to stay the days that I have to go back and look and see what time did I call this doctor, what time did I call that doctor, or what time did this particular code happen. As long as you write down all the times, if you can't get into the computer right away, at least you don't have to go searching for the times later on.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for that practical advice about staying organized and time management in the clinical setting. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the realities of nursing school with some advice about succeeding with that very busy schedule that some of you have probably already figured out is a definite component and a definite reality of nursing school. Amanda, who we're hearing from next, made a change between her first and second semester that made all the difference.
My biggest advice to new nursing students and any nursing students is to stay organized and read your textbook. I went my first semester into the second semester of nursing school with not being organized or barely looking at my textbook, and then once I finally did both of those things, my grades improved so much. So definitely do that and you all will be fine.
Thank you so much, Amanda. I definitely agree. I had that same issue in graduate school when I thought I could squeak by with an open book quiz without doing all of the reading. And I got a real quick reminder about how important it is to do the reading. Now, a lot of professors will test directly from the book. And in those cases, I would say, yeah, you probably do want to make that time investment to read the text. Other times, you can scan the text, look at the main ideas, go to lecture, hear what the instructor has to say, and then go back and read the book pertaining to those points that are especially of interest or that were especially difficult to understand in the lecture. So thank you so much for that, Amanda. And now we're going to talk with Alyssa, who has some advice about keeping track of the million of assignments that you have in nursing school. Plus, she shares some great advice about staying on top of things with, that very busy schedule.
Hi, my name's Alyssa, and I think the biggest piece of advice I could give to a new nursing student is to never fall behind in your reading. There's so much of it that if you try to skip out, it's going to be very hard to catch up later. And pay close attention to your syllabus. Go through and make a master spreadsheet or calendar with all the due dates for the entire semester. It's not your instructor's job to make sure that you are keeping on top of everything. You need to take ownership of that. And it will only benefit you when you take charge of all those due dates. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Alyssa. I appreciate your words of wisdom. Making that spreadsheet is something that I encourage my students to always do. It makes such a difference to have absolutely everything you have to do for the whole semester in one centralized location. So I'm glad that worked for you, and thank you so much for sharing that. Plus, your message about taking ownership is one that I could talk about absolutely all day long. So thank you for being a mentor and someone that other students can look up to. So now we want to talk with Shamika, who is absolutely one of those nurses who clearly loves mentoring students. I hope that you can find someone like her either at your school or at your clinical site. Here's what Shamika has to say.
My name is Shamika. I'm an LPN. I've been an LPN for 11 years. I presently reside in the state of Florida. A few tips and tricks for success for a new nursing student or someone who is presently in school are the following. Organization is key. Making sure that you have all your due dates written down, get a planner, get a calendar, keep yourself organized. Have a study team or a study buddy. Finding someone that has like study goals as yourself will be great. No nurse is an island. That's something that I learned while being a nurse. Prioritize and sacrifice. If becoming a nurse is truly what you want to do, you're going to have to make it a priority, and there are some sacrifices you're going to have to make. You're going to have to do a little bit of giving up for a greater reward later. Take advantage of any volunteer opportunities that may expose you to nursing skill sets that you will be able to do once you are licensed. So any opportunities that come your way, take advantage of that. Get a mentor. Having someone such as myself that is experienced in nursing, someone who can give you advice or even look over your care plans and things like that would be great to get that type of experienced feedback. Study. Create a study schedule. Get that information in your head. Nursing is 80% critical thinking, 20% medicine. Make it fun. Create a way to study that's fun for you so that you don't get bored. Utilize all your resources. Having those resources will help you to look up information. It'll give you a way of finding things other than that's in your textbook. And always remember the reason why you became a nurse. Being a nurse is a great, rewarding job. Again, it's a great, rewarding career. I've been doing it for 11 years, and it's the best decision I've ever made. Thank you.
Now we're going to hear from Jess, who recently graduated and earned her RN, and she has what I think is one of the best clinical tips for you ever.
Hi, this is Jess. My biggest tip for new nursing students is when you're on the clinical floor, always say yes. Learn something new, observe something, try something. You never want to say no, even if it's uncomfortable. You never know what you're going to learn. You never know what you're going to see, so always say yes. Best of luck, guys. Bye.
Thank you so much, Jess and Shamika, for sharing your words of wisdom with nursing students. And now we'll hear from Angela, who is a current nursing student. So she's going through what a lot of you are going through right now. And she has some wonderful advice and a really great attitude about adapting to a very different learning environment.
Hey, my name is Angela, and I am a Block 2 nursing student from Phoenix, Arizona. I am super excited to be able to have the opportunity to reach out to fellow nursing students. I think we're all experiencing the frustration of the pandemic restrictions on our education. I know a lot of us haven't had clinicals, and we're not able to get together in our study groups in person, and that can be really frustrating. So one of the ways that my classmates and I have kind of adapted to this is we have either done a FaceTime meeting or a Zoom meeting where we play volleyball. and not volleyball in the literal sense of throwing a ball, but we volleyball different ideas about the topics that we're studying. So take potassium, for instance. So if we are in our med-surg, then we would talk about potassium deficiencies and how that affects our patients. Or if we're talking about fluid and electrolytes, then we would talk about how potassium interacts with medications, or how our patients might look if they have a deficiency or an extra of that potassium. So we would just throw out that idea and then volleyball back and forth the different things that come to mind when we talk about that. And it is really great for interaction with each other, and also helps us to critically think about that topic, which we've not been taught how to do that in our previous education experience. And so learning how to critically think and not just memorize things is super important as a nursing student. I wish all of you guys and gals the best of luck with all of your future endeavors in your nursing career and also your nursing education. We are strong and we can do this.
Thank you so much for that, Angela. And now we'll hear from Suwani, who really wants you to manage your time well, have good balance with your life, your personal life, and your school life. And also, she values sleep just as much as I do.
This is specifically for nursing students, and my best tips would be to maintain good study habits. Do more than just reading, but analyze and ask yourself why. Speak to the upperclassmates because they've already been there, they've done that. Always eat healthy and exercise. Find balance between personal life and school. Get organized, manage time, always think positive no matter what, and definitely stick to your goal, the reason why you're in nursing school. And don't forget to sleep, because you do need to sleep in order to function effectively. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I am absolutely a huge believer in finding that balance. You can't let school take over 100% of your life. I absolutely believe if you can find balance between school, home, your wellness, and yes, your sleep, you will be a much happier nursing student. So this next bit of advice from Melanie, I absolutely love. Melanie, take it away.
Hi, my name is Melanie Manavi. I am a rising senior nursing student, getting my RN. The biggest piece of advice I could give to any new nursing students is something I wish I had known, which was to do what works for you. It's easy to sort of fall into the trap of you see other people with these, doing their planners a certain way or doing their notes a certain way or studying a certain way, having a study group, et cetera, et cetera. It's great to take input and advice from other people to enhance your study skills, but if something doesn't work for you, it's fine. Don't feel like you have to study a certain way if just because your classmates study that way, you might study differently. For example, I don't do well with flashcards, whereas a lot of other folks really do well with flashcards. It just depends. So go your own way and do what works for you. Don't ever feel pressured to follow the crowd and do what everyone else is doing. If you've gotten into nursing school, you're an excellent student already. So whatever has been working for you, just keep doing that. Nursing school, the material is not hard. You're smart, you're capable, and you can do it if you've gotten this far. The trick with nursing school is time management, organization, and learning how to read nursing school, aka NCLEX style questions. That's it. The material is nothing you can't manage. As long as you crack the code for answering those questions and keep yourself organized and on top of things, you'll do great. Good luck and take care.
Thanks, Melanie. And yes, I am also a huge believer in staying organized. So thanks for sharing your point of view and for the pep talk. All right. So you guys know, you've heard me say this time and time and time again. Half the battle of nursing school, just like Melanie was talking about, is staying organized. So Courtney agrees as well. And I hope you find her tips as encouraging as I do.
Hello, my name is Courtney.
I would say that my biggest piece of advice for new nursing students would be to get on a schedule, to go ahead as soon as you find out about assignments, to get it on a planner, whether you do digital or paper, and go ahead and start working on it. Don't put off things, because in my experience, nurse instructors are notorious for coming up with pop assignments out of nowhere. And if you think, oh, well, I've already set aside this time to do something, and then they give you something else that might be due the next day, or like, if your clinical instructor might not necessarily be your instructor for your class. So they might have assignments also that your regular instructor doesn't have. So that would definitely be my biggest piece of advice, is just getting on a schedule and making sure you're carving out your time to do everything that needs to be done, so that you're not getting behind, because once you get behind, catch up is just insane. And also have fun. Enjoy it. It's such a wonderful experience. Just enjoy it.
Thank you, Courtney, for that message about staying on top of things and mostly about just enjoying the process. Nursing school is really fun, you guys. You are constantly learning and doing new and exciting things and seeing new things every single day. It is absolutely one of the best times of my life. So even though I was really busy and I worked really hard, I absolutely loved it, and I hope that you do as well. So next up, we have Gretchen. So Gretchen wants to share with you how much this podcast has helped her. So maybe this is the first Straight A Nursing podcast episode you're listening to. Well, Gretchen has a little bit of information and insight into how this podcast has helped her and why she's such a big fan. Hopefully, you can feel the same way that Gretchen does.
I just want to say thank you so much for your podcast. It really helped me survive my second and third semester of nursing school. Second semester of nursing school, I took all the hardcore courses. I took psych, pathopharmacology, and med-surg 1. And I read all the chapters. I went to class. I took notes. I reviewed PowerPoints over and over. And the only thing that really helped me test my comprehension were your podcast. I would listen to them on my way and on my back from clinical. We'll listen to them during my workouts, and I even listened to them during my morning walks from the garage to class. And it was so helpful being able to speed it up, slow it down, pause it, or just re-listening to it to test my knowledge and be like, okay, this is what she's going to say, so I know what's going to happen, and just testing that as well. And I just love how you have topics from education to personal growth, just because there's a lot of personal things that we don't talk about in the nursing world, and especially nursing school, like imposter syndrome. I think all of us are just so scared to talk about it, and I'm even scared to talk about it with my friends. We talk about things around it, but we don't talk about imposter syndrome. So being able to hear you talk about it just helps me at ease. So thank you so much for your podcast. They've helped me out in so many ways that I don't think you realize. And I just want to say just thank you. You are just amazing. Thank you.
Gretchen, thank you so much for your message, and just knowing that the podcast helps you makes absolutely every ounce of work that goes into it 100% worth it. So thank you so much. Okay, so now you guys, we're going to take a little switch of gears here and talk with Karen. And Karen's message is that some nursing pathways have stops, they have starts, they have pauses, they have U-turns, some have roadblocks. But Karen and Sharma, who we'll hear after Karen, they don't want you to let that get you down. And if you've ever asked yourself if you're too old for nursing school, these ladies say absolutely not.
I had a dream to go to nursing school 2 decades ago, but couldn't because I was a divorced single mom with 3 kids, and they needed me more. After finally marrying the man of my dreams at 46, I finally decided to go back and work on my prereqs. At 48, I was accepted into the RN program and started my first semester. It went fabulous, and I look forward to the second semester. But the day before second semester started, in January of 2020, my husband suffered a critical and life-threatening illness and ended up in the ICU for 10 weeks. He needed me more, so I stepped away from the RN program. I will be a nurse someday, And my advice is to remember that no matter how long it takes or what things happen to get in your way, keep going. You are so needed as a nurse, and we can do this.
Unfortunately, Sharma's message was cut off, but I just want to share with you what she says. And she says, my advice to nurses is age is just a number. Don't ever give up on your dreams. I graduated with my RN at 52, and I plan on becoming a flight nurse. So thank you so much for sharing that, Sharma. And also, Karen, for your inspiring message for a lot of nursing students who maybe aren't in their 20s anymore, might be thinking they're too old for this big major life change. Absolutely not. It's never too late to chase your dream.
Hi, my name is Nikki. I decided I wanted to become a nurse after having a child so severely premature that he was in respiratory distress the minute he was out of the womb. I watched the helicopter guys take him from me, and they whisked him away to Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio. Those girls took such good care of my little boy that I knew I had to pay it back somehow. So at 33 years old, I went back to college and was told that I would be better off getting my LPN after testing into the RN because of how young my children were. At the time, they were 24 months old and 10 months old. I made Dean's List the whole time through LPN school. I aced clinicals. My first job was a vet nurse in a nursing home. If someone tells you can't do something, turn around and show them that you can. No question is ever too dumb. If you're not sure, ask the senior nurse in the other room watching a code. You need to participate. You need to learn. That's the only way you're ever going to save a life. If you're in long-term care, take care of those people like they were your grandma and grandpa, because they are someone's grandma and grandpa. I work in long-term care right now, and I love all my grandma and grandpas, and I wouldn't change a thing about it. I absolutely adore my job, and I don't know what I would do if I couldn't be a nurse. For all you future graduates out there, congratulations, and I commend you on picking such an amazing career. It can take you anywhere in the world. All you have to do is put your mind to it.
I am so glad that Nikki brought this up because I love the way she talks about her inspiration from her own experience and her true love and compassion for the people that she takes care of. Nikki, thank you so very much for sharing your story.
Hey Nurse Mo, my name is Chelsea and I've been listening to you for a couple of years now. I'm a non-traditional student as well as a mom of 4 kiddos. And I'm just completing my first nursing course this summer, and I just finished 2 years of prerequisites as well. I have a few pieces of advice that I hope will help some of your listeners, especially some of the parents. So first, for all the parents returning back to school, I kept thinking I would wait until my kids got older to go back to school, and it would be easier, because they're not in diapers and, sleeping through the night. But the thing is it never gets easier. It just gets different. I really wish I would have started all of this sooner, even if it was just like one class at a time. And if I didn't want to work, or if I wanted to work like really part-time, I would have had at least the choice to do so. Instead, I've waited, and now my life is just really chaotic. And then second, have you guys seen the little triangle that has your sanity labeled at the top, your kids and family in one corner, and then nursing school in the other one, and it says pick 2? That is so true. So as you can notice, one of the corners does not say have a clean house. So whatever your standards are now, what you consider to be a clean home, I want you to lower them by half and then half that again. It really is okay if the clean laundry never makes it out of the laundry baskets for the next couple of years. Like, I would really rather spend my time with my kids, like reading them a book, playing a board game. I don't want to spend that time folding their underwear and matching their socks. And also, cereal is an acceptable dinner plan every now and then, especially during like finals and big tests. And then one other little tip is that I love to do family Lunchables for dinners. So we have a big tray of like 7 little spots, and I'll put cubed cheese, meats, 2 veggies, 2 fruits, and some crackers. Sometimes I'll put cookies instead of crackers, but then I throw toothpicks on my kids' plates and I just let them graze, and they absolutely love it, and they will build little characters with all the different fruit and veggie pieces, and it takes me 5 minutes to put a whole dinner together for all my kiddos. So hopefully me saying all of this gives you guys the permission you need to let it go. And then one like random but really great tip that I heard early on was that fluid balance, electrolytes, homeostasis, and gas exchange will never, ever, ever go away. So learn them well the first time around. And then lastly, there is this quote that I've heard that really is what inspired me to go back to school. And it says, "Don't let the fear of the time it will take to accomplish something stand in the way of you doing it. The time will pass anyway." So with that, I want to say good luck to all of you, and hang in there, all you straight A nursing students. And thanks for all you do, Nurse Mo. Bye.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. I appreciate your words of wisdom, and I just know they are going to be the exact thing that some of the people listening who have kids and who are juggling nursing school with kids needed to hear. So thank you so, so much. So now we're going to hear from Daniela, who has a really important message. It's short, but super powerful. And she wants to remind us that the journey is just as important as the destination.
Hello from Canada, fellow nursing students. What helps me in keeping things in perspective is reminding myself that the nursing journey is a process and not a final destination. Therefore, letting go of perfection and leaning into the learning mindset.
I absolutely love this message. I love that thought of the learning mindset. That's, again, when I was saying earlier about how nursing school is just a lot of fun and a lot to enjoy. It's because of that learning mindset. And as long as you love to learn, you're going to love nursing school. So thank you so much for that, Daniela. Really, really important message. And I'm so glad that you shared that. So next, we're going to hear from another experienced nurse that I know personally. And yes, she is this amazing and inspiring in real life. Lynn wants you to know that all the hard work you're going through now is so worth it in the end.
Hi, this is Lynn. My advice to nursing students or new grads. 30 years ago, I graduated from nursing school, and if I look back on nursing school, I think of it like it was boot camp. It was hard. Nursing school is hard. And those hard times that you spend in school are going to prepare you for your future in nursing. There's some days that are hard in nursing, but there are so many great days. And nursing school, though, is hard the whole time. So it's going to prepare you well for your future as a nurse. When you're in nursing school, you're working hard with your buddies and your friends, studying late night, all night for those tests, writing all your care plans, studying pharmacology, psychology, physiology, pathophysiology, things that are really hard. And then when you finish nursing school, you're going to, like I said, have some hard days, but you're going to rely on your work friends and your work buddies to get you through those hard days. Not as many hard days. The nursing is hard, but you're going to have a lot of great days, and what a wonderful career you'll have helping others. Like I said, it's been 30 years, and I'm so blessed to have been a nurse for 30 years, 30 great years, and I'm so proud to be a nurse and proud for what you guys are going through right now to get yourselves to that place. Best wishes to all of you.
Thank you so much for that inspiring message, Lynn. So now we're going to start talking a little bit about perseverance. And when we think about perseverance, it's really hard to think about it without also thinking about its opposite, and that is failure. The concept of failure is definitely something that nursing students are acutely aware of and, in a lot of cases, afraid of. Olivia, Brooke, and Miranda have a few words of wisdom for you.
Hi, my name's Olivia Hatton, and I just wanted to say I know a lot of people stress out with failing a class or failing a semester. And it might be 6 months or it might be a year that you have to wait to continue on to the next step. But it really does not matter how long it takes you to get there. Keep that end goal in mind, becoming a nurse. I always tell myself too, if it makes me a better nurse in the long run, how can I be upset? So just take this time, whatever time you have, if you're in between classes in the summer, to just keep that end goal in mind, keep moving forward, keep pushing yourself. If you have to retake a class, it does not affect how you will be a nurse in the long run. So just keep on going.
My name is Brooke, and my message to nursing students and new nurses is it is okay to fall and fail a few times. It happens, and it will happen. We are only human, and we will make mistakes as humans and nurses.
Hey, it's Miranda. I know it's hard, but we can all do it, and the 2 to 4 years of sacrifice are going to be worth it in the end. So just keep your head up and study hard.
Thank you, ladies, for your messages about perseverance. It's definitely something that a lot of students struggle with, especially when they hit a roadblock or just feel like the sacrifices are so great and it's taking so much time. So thank you again so much. Hannah didn't leave a recording, but she wrote her response to me, and it was so powerful. I want to share it with you today. She says, as a nursing student, it's okay to fall a few times. It happens, and it happens to so many more people than you realize. And classes will be so much harder than your prereqs, so start studying early and don't stop. You're going to get a lot of expletive from family and friends about how you study too much, but ignore it. It's only going to help you in the long run. If you don't do well on a few exams, talk to your teachers. Most want to see you succeed and will help you in any way possible. Also, if you don't do well on those first few exams, you will still be okay in the end. So thank you so much, Hannah. I definitely agree, and I'm so glad that you shared that with everybody today. So when you're feeling like you just can't keep pushing, Jody wants you to know that you will get through this.
Hey, it's Jody. I just want to remind you that we are all in this together. No matter what your situation is, find a way to make it work and don't give up on your dream of becoming a nurse. Take care. You will make it through.
Thank you so much, Jody. I love it when nurses who've been nurses for a while still have so much love and enthusiasm for the profession and still so actively encourage others to pursue their dreams. Karen has been a nurse for 14 years and has a few words of encouragement for you.
Hi, my name is Karen. I have been a registered nurse since 2006, and I want to leave some encouragement for nursing students and brand new nurses. I had everything going against me when I first started nursing, as I was a brand new mom, and then I miscarried, and then I had another child, and nursing has somewhat had to be on the back burner during my children's early years. I have somehow stuck with it. I have done all kinds of different things, from home health nursing to long-term care nursing, which I really didn't like. I took a lot of jobs I really didn't care for at first, but I was always learning. And I just want to encourage you people to not give up. It is hard. It is a bullying environment sometimes, but I am telling you, if you believe in it and it's your passion, you cannot allow people to make you stop doing it. You do it until you're ready to stop. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Karen. I think the real value of Karen's message is that there are so many different avenues in nursing. So if you get out of school and you get a job somewhere and you don't love it and it's not feeling like it's your passion, there are so many other areas of nursing to explore. So don't let one or two bad experiences keep you from continuing on this path for a really rewarding lifelong career. So next we're going to hear from a fellow podcaster friend of mine, Michael Smith from the Real Talk School of Nursing podcast. He is an ER nurse with a great real-world perspective. So if you haven't checked out his podcast yet, absolutely go do that. And Michael has a few words of encouragement for you here today.
Nursing school is a struggle for many. Everyone struggles at one point or another, even that seemingly bulletproof student you're thinking about right now. Some people will struggle with tests. Some will struggle with clinicals or lab or sims. And some of those students who struggle with none of those things will struggle within the profession. Nursing school is a struggle for some from day one until the day you graduate. It was for me. It might be for you too. But trust me, if I can make it with some of the instructors I had, with the director that I had, you can. Just keep working hard. Be truthful to yourself. Be joyful in the hard stuff. On the other end of school is a profession that is amazingly hard. I'm not going to lie to you, especially in the first year. And the rewards, though amazing, are sometimes heartbreaking too. You will have to wade through a lot of muck and mud to get to these amazing little jewels of experiences that make coming to work worth it. Nursing and nursing school isn't just about learning content, about learning the tasks that you have to do. It's about learning to grow through adversity, coming out the other end stronger. You will struggle outside of school too, but I promise you when you make it, it's worth it. So I'll see you on the other end of this crazy nursing school journey.
Aside from the awesome background music, Michael's message is such a good one. So if you haven't checked out the Real Talk School of Nursing podcast, absolutely go check that out, everyone. So this next one that we're going to hear about speaks to the validity of your dream to become a nurse and how hard you are working to achieve that goal. Sometimes you just need to hear someone say that the journey, though tough, can actually be something to enjoy. Sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? Let's see what Sandy has to say.
Hi, my name is Sandy, and my message is for all students who are nursing students at this time. I just want to encourage everybody to continue to persevere, especially those who are in pre-nursing right now and just finishing up their prerequisites. Keep going for it because your dreams are real and they're valid, and this is definitely something that you are going to be so thankful that you did and strived to accomplish. It's going to be an amazing journey. Even though it's going to be tough, you're going to love every second of it. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Next, we have Selena, who is a nursing student who wants you to know that you'll probably be frustrated by some things that occur in nursing school, but it's all part of the process.
Hi, Nurse Mo. This is Selena. I'm a nursing student from Massachusetts, and my piece of advice for students would be to just remember that nursing school is a lot of hoop jumping. One of my clinical professors said that to me this semester, or my first semester rather, and there's going to be a lot of things to kind of weed out folks, and a lot of things that feel kind of dumb because they won't be on the test, but they'll be useful in practice, but you're taking the test now. And to just keep in mind, it's a lot of hoop jumping. Just keep jumping through these hoops to get where you want to be. Don't be discouraged by them. Kind of take them as a grain of salt and keep succeeding.
Selena is absolutely right. Sometimes you just have to put your head down, do the work, keep your eyes on the prize, know that it's all part of the process and you're going to get through it. So thanks, Selena. Next up, we have Chelsea from Tribe RN, and Chelsea is a fabulous nurse. She's got a great Facebook group, and she makes really cool products for nurses. So if you are in the market for something like a clipboard with nurse facts on it, badge cards, cool t-shirts, things like that, check it out. Chelsea is your girl, Tribe RN. And Chelsea wants you to know that sometimes you just need to know that someone out there has got your back. In addition to me, that someone is definitely Chelsea, because with her great products for nursing students and her great and positive Facebook group, she's definitely got your back and wants you to succeed.
Hey there, Chelsea here with Tribe RN. I just want to thank you so much for choosing nursing. I know this hasn't been easy. I know virtual nursing school is not what you had in mind, but you're doing it. You are going to be amazing, whether you've been in virtual nursing school or you've been in a brick and mortar building, you are going to be just fine. Not a single one of us felt prepared to go out and work as a nurse after nursing school. You are not alone. We are prepared to guide you and teach you and help you grow. We need you, and we appreciate you so much. So thank you for sticking with this, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much to Chelsea, and I could not agree more. So this next one came through as just a post in a Facebook group, and it's about how being new can be really overwhelming. You often don't feel like you know anything. It can be intimidating and it can be isolating, but Erin wants you to know that it's okay to not know everything. And she says this: to both a student and a new nurse, please ask for help. If you don't understand or have questions, ask. If you aren't 100% sure, clarify. You are not only speaking up for yourself, but you are continuing to learn for your patient and your future patients. It is okay to not know everything, and it is okay to ask for help. It doesn't make you any less. I absolutely agree and want to thank Erin for taking the time to write that and reminding us that, yes, it can be overwhelming to feel like we don't know everything we need to know. But guess what, you guys? You're going to be learning about nursing every single day. You're always going to learn something new. So if you don't know, follow Erin's advice and ask. So guys, have you met Tiffany from New Nurse Academy yet? She is a coach for new nurses, including NCLEX coaching, and she has some great advice for succeeding in clinicals or as a new grad. You can find Tiffany on her Facebook page, New Nurse Academy. Let's see what Tiffany has for you guys.
Hi, this is Tiffany from New Nurse Academy, and here are my tips for new nurses and student nurses on their way to being a professional. First and foremost, ask questions, please. The nurse who doesn't ask questions is not a safe nurse, so you always want to ask questions, think out loud, and make sure that you have a final answer. Also, don't act like you know more than you do. Never be afraid to tell a patient or a family member that you don't know, and then use your resources to find it out. Come prepared. Always be aware of your learning curves. Don't be too hard on yourself. Be a helpful team member. Take advantage of learning opportunities. Find a nursing role model on your unit. And if you don't drink caffeine, start. Best of luck. Good wishes. Be safe. Have fun.
I love that Tiffany says, if you don't drink caffeine, start. That's just really fun advice. Thanks, Tiffany. So next up, we have some advice from Jen. Jen is a nurse that I work with, and I love her advice about self-care. As nurses and nursing students, we are so focused on taking care of others, and Jen wants to remind you to always make time for yourself as well.
Hi, new nurses and nursing students. My best piece of advice for you is to remember to take care of yourself. Nursing can be a tough career and such a rewarding one, but it's so important to always remember to take care of the nurses taking care of others, whether it be physical exercise, sleep, good nutrition, water intake, all of the above. Make sure that your time off between your shifts is restorative so that you can get back and do your best for your patients and take care of yourself over a long and rewarding career. Congratulations.
Another vote for self-care comes from Christy, another nurse that I've worked with. And even though it's a really rewarding profession, it is a really tough job. So Christy has some things to say about finding balance and taking good care of yourself.
Hi, future nurses and nursing students. My name is Christy, and I've been a nurse now for 14 years, 2 of which were in orthopedics, 11 in the medical ICU, and currently I'm working in an outpatient surgery center doing pre-op and PACU. If I had any words of wisdom to share with you today, it would be to find something outside of work that's going to bring you peace and calming. Nursing is an amazing career. I'm so glad I chose it. And there's many, many times of joy, and there's also many, many times of sadness. It can be physically and mentally exhausting at times. And so I think for me, finding something outside of work that centers me helps me to be a better nurse when I go back to work, whether it's reading, exercising, art, something outside of work that helps you stay grounded. That would be my advice. Good luck to everybody, and you've chosen an amazing career.
Thank you so much for that, Christy. So next we'll hear from Hunter, who has some practical advice for keeping that self-care front and center.
My name is Hunter. My tip for you would be to prioritize your self-care by making a simple list of activities you do to relax and show love to yourself. For example, your list could include yoga, bubble baths, or even retail therapy. Hang this list on your wall and try to prioritize some time to complete one activity from the list each day while you are working hard in nursing school. It's important not to forget to take care of yourself and love yourself throughout this stressful adventure. I wish you the best of luck. You're going to do great.
Okay, you guys heard it. Retail therapy is totally allowed as a form of self-care. Sign me up. Okay, next we're going to hear from Leah, who has some great advice that I can totally get behind. Spoiler alert, don't spend all your time studying.
So my best advice I could give to nursing students coming in is to utilize Nurse Mo's podcast. They saved my life before I even started the program, as well as just finding other awesome nurses on YouTube, mixing in some of theirs along with the podcast and taking notes, and then just making sure you have enough time to reset your brain. Because if you spend all your time studying, you just kind of feel some burnout. So remember fun, remember why you're doing this, and there's just so many awesome people out there willing to help you. Good luck.
Thanks, Leah. That is great advice. So this next bit of advice comes from Candace, who at the time of this recording is a pre-nursing student like many of you, and she wants you to know her advice for the very beginning of this exciting journey.
So if you're a future nursing student like myself, my biggest advice to you is to make sure you enjoy the time you have left before your first semester starts. Now, I know you're nervous, you're anxious, you want to make sure you're prepared, and that's fine, but you can't let that consume you. Go on a vacation, go out with your friends, read some books, binge watch some shows, enjoy your free time while you can. Now, that's not to say you'll never have free time in nursing school, but it will be extremely limited. So just relax and have fun before all the madness begins. Now, I'm rooting for you, and I wish you the very best on your nursing journey. You've got this.
Thank you so much for that great message, Candace. Very appreciated. Next, we're going to hear from another inspiring nurse that I work with who has such a love for the profession, and she shares that with you here.
Hello, my name is Tanya Nash. I am an assistant nurse manager for a large PACU or recovery room, and I want to take a moment to applaud you in your career choice.
being a nurse has been the best career choice I ever could have made. Like I said, I've been a nurse for 25 years, and I just want to share that you just can't go wrong. There's so many different fields that you can get into, and you'll find something that you will find is your niche. And I will also want to share that every single day that you go to work, you get an opportunity to make a difference in somebody's life. And whether you realize it or not, they do. So congratulations on your career choice, and don't look back.
Thank you so much, Tanya. It's always nice to hear from experienced nurses who basically would go back and do this all over again if they had that option. I know a lot of you have heard that nursing school takes over your life and that you'll never see your family and friends again. Well, Shelby has some things to say about finding that balance and having those people in your life that can support you during the difficult times.
When I first started nursing school, I was going through some pretty difficult times in my personal life, and I was super stressed out because I was so excited to finally get into a nursing program, but all I kept hearing was, nursing school is so hard, you won't have time for a social life, you might as well just say goodbye to your family and friends now. So this is the message that was amplified for me before I started my program, and I was terrified because I had some very real things going on in my life that would needed taken care of. And it turns out that those messages were not all true, and I don't want that to be the message that is amplified for you. You will probably most definitely have moments in school when you think to yourself, I can't do it anymore. I want to quit now. Why did I choose this? But the great thing is, in nursing school, you're literally surrounded by some of the most gifted communicators, and your peers and your staff, they are there to support you. I encourage you to not be afraid to reach out to them for guidance. They've all been through nursing school, or if they're your peers, they're going through nursing school with you, and they all kind of know how hard it can be. I had a family member pass away during my first semester of the program, and I just feel like that's important to share because I know that it might seem really hard at the time, but if you just take everything day by day and don't jump ahead and stress yourself out, you really can do it, and you will. I also wanted to share some practical tips of encouragement for you guys to think about. Before starting nursing school, I was definitely all into paper notes. I wrote all over my PowerPoint slides, and that's how I did all my note-taking. But I definitely recommend you look into some digital note-taking options. A lot of my classmates use an iPad with the Apple Pen using Notability, or the Microsoft Surface Go with the Surface Pen using OneNote to take those notes. So with either option, you would just export the PowerPoint directly to that app, so that way you can just write notes digitally during class. I also recommend that you always use some sort of digital cloud to back up files. So good luck. You'll find your groove, you'll find your friends, and just have fun. Have as much fun as you can, because you're still living your life, and you can't let nursing school take over your life.
Thank you so much for sharing that story, Shelby, and how you got through a difficult time in nursing school and still managed to keep those relationships and that support system intact, because I think that's really, really important. And I just want to say that I am cheering for you and completely rooting for you and your continued success. So when we think about the impact that nurses have, it can be really humbling, but it's also very rewarding. And so I wanted to close this out with a message from Myra, a critical care nurse who sums it up beautifully.
Hi, my name is Myra, and I just wanted to send out a big congratulations to the future nurses out there. You did it. And also to the nursing students out there, you're that much closer to making it. Nursing is more than a profession. It really is a calling. And we as nurses have that innate ability to touch our patients' lives. And I, for one, am so glad I chose nursing. It's brought me so much joy and has been rewarding in so many ways. So go forth and do good. And I'd like to leave you all with a wonderful quote by the great Maya Angelou. As a nurse, we have the ability to heal the mind, soul, heart, and body of our patients, their families, and ourselves. They may forget your name, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Myra, for reminding us of that. Patients definitely might forget your name, but they're not going to forget that you made them feel comforted, you made them feel safe, you made them feel cared for, or that they still had their dignity at a time when they felt vulnerable. So thank you all the nurses who contributed, all the nursing students who contributed to this wonderful podcast episode, and especially thank you to all the future nurses out there. I wish you all the best. I'm so grateful to you. I can't wait to welcome you to this amazing profession and watch you blossom on your nursing school journey. So thanks again for helping me celebrate 1 million downloads of the Straight A Nursing podcast. You guys are amazing and you inspire me every single day. This podcast is brought to you by StraightANursingStudent.com. Copyright Digital Health Media, LLC.